Do you remember your first loss?
It was in Oakland.
It was right here, my friend. Tell me about this tiger.
It's actually a Bengal coop. I own it.
Really?
Only 2 times a year, though.
Canty, is Baker ever going to get over this blood feud with Hugh Jackson?
I don't know. He keeps bringing it up, man. But Cooper Manning is absolutely right. His first loss was doing that shoot with the Bengal tiger, with the under. I don't know what he had going on, but that would be one of the things. If I was in that locker room, I'll never let Baker Mayfield forget about that.
Man,
Baker's having some fun.
He's having some fun, man. Somebody needs to get to the real story of the Baker-Hugh feud, because it's more than just, I didn't think I was coached right. There's something else there. I mean, every chance he gets.
It's a lot of shade coming from Baker.
But he steps into it. He fully leans into it. He doesn't back away.
I wanted to see him bring out a police officer and have him run again. That's what I wanted to see. When it impressed me, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson ain't running from the police.
Back to the NFC Championship game. Third-year stud Jared Goff and the Rams taking on Drew Brees and the Saints. Tied less than 2 minutes to go. Brees can't hit Tommy Lee Lewis. However, it looks like Nikhil Roby-Coleman clearly gets their first pass interference. Helmet to helmet, nothing. No call from the refs on the play. Sean Payton can't believe it. Saints kick a field goal to make it 23-20. Less than a minute left. Goff to Robert Woods. Gets into field goal range. Sets up this 48-yard field goal for Greg Zuerlein. And we are going to overtime. Saints would get the ball first, but on the third play, Brees gets picked off by John Johnson, and that is the most emotional I think I've ever seen Jared Goff. It would come down to a 57-yarder from Greg Zuerlein, who nails it. Rams punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. After the game, all the Saints talk centered around the no call, and as you'd imagine, Sean Payton was not happy.
Just getting off the phone with the league office, they blew the call, and man, there were a lot of opportunities, though, but that call puts it 1st and 10. We're on an E3 plays, and it's a game-changing call, and that's where it's at.
Without bashing a so-said referee who's supposed to be a lead at his job, I don't know, blame it on the government shutdown, I don't know. At some point, this is ridiculous.
Listen, it's a hard job for those guys because it's happening fast, but I don't know if there was ever a more obvious pass interference call that, you know, here it is, the NFC Championship game, so tough one to swallow.
Came to the sideline, looked at the football guys, like, thank you. Got away with one tonight.
If there's anything I've learned from being on this show, it's that games don't come down to one play. There's always a lot that factors in. But did this happen in this game? Did the refs cost the Saints a chance at the Super Bowl, Canty?
Jenna, I'm right there with you. I typically don't think the game comes down to one play. But if they get that pass interference call on the throw to Tommy Lee Lewis in that situation, they got the ball 1st and 10 down in the low red zone. And the Saints had made sure that they forced the Rams to burn a timeout with their second down call because they ran with Alvin Kamara. So it was a situation where the Rams would have had to burn their last timeout. And, of course, the Saints would have had the opportunity to run the clock down, kick a field goal, game over. But the fact is that they didn't make that call. And, of course, they kicked the field goal, but they left just enough time for Jared Goff and that Rams offense to drive the ball 45 yards for Legatron to kick that field goal to push it into overtime. So I will say this. Sean Payton didn't do himself any favors in terms of the sequence of play calling, because I don't believe that he should have called that pass to Michael Thomas, that pick play on first down. I just think there was a situation where you forced them to address the time issue. At that point, the time means more than the yardage. I thought that they should have forced the Rams to try to utilize those timeouts, burn those timeouts, leave as little time on the clock as possible, and then you kick the field goal to go ahead, and you see what Jared Goff can do. Because it's a different situation when he's getting the ball with a minute 40, minute 50 left on the clock in a timeout, as opposed to less than a minute, no timeouts.
I disagree with you, and the reason why, because in the NFL, I haven't seen a completion that was more high percentage than the one they were trying to throw to Michael Thomas. Almost every team in the league runs it, either at 3rd and short at the goal line or 4th and short, where you can set a pick play because they're going to throw the ball within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. You can see right here, the DB falls down. The wide receiver has a lead block on the one defender that's out there. So if I am going to throw the ball, and I know you guys have the benefit of realizing it didn't work, realizing they didn't win the game. But you're talking about high percentage. the safest throw I have with the quarterback who throws the ball better than anyone who's ever thrown the ball from a percentage standpoint. So that should be easy for them to be able to do. Drew Brees rushes it, ball gets stuck in his hand a little bit, comes out low, but that is a running play. That part right there, that's why I have to disagree with you. And watching the NFL, I watch almost every team run that same play. And with Michael Thomas and Drew Brees, with that perfect coverage, I'm expecting to get a completion, which is just like running the football.
And listen, if the ref makes the right call, all of it's moot, right? If the ref makes the right call, they are taking knees until 10 seconds, kicking a field goal, and barring a Will Lutz disaster, they're going to the Super Bowl. I understand that. But the reason why that, in my eyes, is not like a running play is because a running play has a 0% chance of an incompletion.
Well, there's a chance of a fumble.
Of a fumble,
when they got 9 guys in the box, you're worried about run-throughs.
No, I understand.
That's why coaches throw the ball, especially on first down. They know they're going to disregard everything else, and every guy on that defense is trying to hit a gap.
And Alvin Kamara had a fumble earlier in the game because Aaron Donald got penetration. I'm with you. I completely understand
Of course, but the reality is if the Rams have 3 timeouts, it's a different story. Because if the Rams have 3 timeouts, if you run it 3 times, they're still getting the ball with a minute 30 plus.
Yes.
When they only have 2, and you are guaranteed that if you don't fumble the football, they are getting the ball back with less than a minute left, having to drive into field goal range, I thought it was insanity to throw the ball on first down.
This is the thing I don't understand about you. You like when people do things very, very different. And I've been in games like this. That handoff, that center exchange is the reason why I put the quarterback in the shotgun, because I know they can try to jam him to try to get the football. There's 2 ways. Either get it back through the center quarterback exchange, or in the exchange between the quarterback before he gives it to the running back. So I know with the defense and the type of look, it's almost the safest thing. I'm not expecting Drew Brees to choke the ball,
clutch it, or to whatever it was, to throw it in the dirt.
You have to put some human elements in there. The strategy was perfect. The execution was not perfect.
Well, here's the thing. I think you have less of a margin for error when you're throwing the ball in that situation with that type of play, because that's the same play that Darrell Bevell called in the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl.
That's not the same one.
It looks like
it's not the same one. It's not the same one. This is a play where they're setting a legal pick. Like on the Seattle play, the guy was running a slant. They were stacked, all right?
Yeah, they were stacked.
So they weren't able to pick. In this situation, we've seen this play this year. They've changed the rules that you can block or engage a guy down the field if we throw the ball within 1 yard left or right of the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So it's a different format. I can understand why you would think that. You know, this
so similar concept, not exactly the same play.
Well, similar concept that neither one of them work.
Yeah.
Well, let me listen. You said something I think interesting there, and this will be helpful. You said one of the things you don't understand about me, I think, was that I like when guys are aggressive. You said people do things different. What I like is when people understand time, score, situation, and the math of a situation. And I know, see, it's not a math equation. I know that.
No, it is a math equation.
But at that,
they got 9 guys in the box. You're disregarding that, man.
No, I'm not disregarding that. What I am regarding there is that you are not playing the Rams anymore. You are playing the clock. And it is not, first of all, I don't believe it's a give up by running on first down.
Does it help me to score a touchdown?
You don't need a touchdown.
No.
You need a first down.
I asked you to answer that question. Does it help me to score a touchdown?
No, but if I'm the Saints, you want to know something, see? If you're asking me, would I rather run the ball there or score a touchdown on the first play and give the Rams a minute 45 and 2 timeouts? I'd rather run the ball there and get 2 yards. Because you are playing the clock. You are not playing the opponent. Now, if the refs make the right call, which was the beginning of this whole discussion,
this would not be what we're talking about.
And it's unfair to Drew. Like, this is a legacy moment. There's a lot of things involved here where this is, I don't know how, if you're a Drew Brees, you get over this. Like, this was your opportunity.
Throw the ball better to Michael Thomas. That's how you get
on first down. I'm talking about the missed call on 3rd down. But I understand the Saints' frustration throughout all of this, but it didn't need to come down to that ref's call.
All right, Chris, thank you. Coming up, how impressive was Pat Mahomes going toe-to-toe with Tom Brady? That's next on First Things First.